Marek, welcome to MDrives. Today I will be reviewing something special, this beautiful 1 of 500 Clio trophy. Despite being 18 years old, this car looks really good inside. The Recaro seats not only look stunning, but they also hold you really well. The car shares the engine with the regular Sport with 182 horsepower and 148 foot-pound of torque. For its age, it's relatively fast with 6.5 seconds to 62 and a top speed of 138 miles per hour. But enough talking, let's drive this little firecracker. But before we do, a big shout out to Craig, the owner of this little gem, who's also the founder and the editor of the online automotive Rush magazine. So please show your support and head on to rushmagazine.co.uk and have a read, because it's completely free and believe me, it's worth the read. Now back to the Clio.
I'll go up ahead first, but there's a lot of ice on the road. The racing driver excuses in there straight away. See ice on the exit there.
Oh dear.
So you do get bounced around, but the actual wheel control I think is amazing.
Feels like a go-kart.
So fast, so they tip it in here and it's just so positive.
Wow.
The turning is amazing. A little bit of ice there. So you do get bounced about. Ice.
You can actually hear it from a mile.
Yeah.
When I was standing there, I could hear you even behind the hills.
So the best thing is just keep it on a steady throttle, and then when it opens up like that.
It likes to rev.
Oh yeah, they'll go right round to 7.5, no problems. If it's a weekend toy, it's probably worth it for the control. I love how quick it revs out. The throttle response is so sharp as well.
It feels absolutely brilliant, mate.
Because there was ice on the exit here, remember. So what you need to do is just keep a little bit of gas on for the back axle, just just in these conditions, because it's very tail happy. So
by the way, we're in minus temperatures here. Not something you experience very often in UK, but yes, it's a nice crispy winter day.
Carve it in third. So the important thing is just be really positive with the throttle.
Yeah. Well, this suspension wise, from what I feel, it's not that firm. It follows road really well. The damping is it's quality.
Well, the thing is, it's a short wheelbase car, so it's never going to be properly comfortable. But what these dampers do, these Sachs dampers, they're just so good at just, once you get them up into their operating zone, low speed is very firm, but once you get it into that operating zone, it just, you still get jiggled about, but the composure with the road, the contact with the road surface is amazing, so your traction's fantastic. Let it fly, there we go, go for it now.
Definitely.
So it's just I love it.
Well, that's what they're all about, aren't they? They just fun little pocket rockets. They're not mighty fast, but they are fast in the corners. That's what I like.
So dislikes about the car, obviously the driving position is too high. the clutch pedal is very firm with a high biting point,
Right.
which means you want to be sat further away from the car, but because the steering wheel is the angle it is, and this is as far out as it comes, you need to be close to just have that little bit of give in your arms. So you end up, it's just a funny driving position. You get used to it after like a week or so, you just accept it. But for anyone that jumps into the car for the first time, now you can feel how much firmer the ride's getting now. Just when we're slowing right down, you can feel how much we're getting jiggled about. So it's almost like you just want to go faster to be more comfortable as well. So, but other dislikes about the cars, yeah. So the clutch pedal's very heavy with a very high biting point, and then there's quite a lot of distance here between the steering wheel and the arm for the change. In my Clio 200, it's right there. It's like right where you want it to be. So I'll just spin round. And the actual throw of the gear change as well is quite slick, but it's very long.
Yeah, it feels like this seat is higher than the passenger seat.
Yeah, it is very high. Even though these seats here, they're actually mounted 10 mil lower than the standard car. Yeah, it's a shocking clutch.
The clutch is, I tell you what, it feels like the clutch in GT4.
Yeah,
it was so heavy as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
So one other bad, well, I won't say bad thing about the car is the brakes don't quite have that initial bite because it's 17 years old. So you're not going to get that same. Modern brakes are so positive as soon as you touch them.
I tell you what, the steering position is weird.
It's awful, isn't it?
It's almost like in a lorry.
I don't know if you can see it there, but look, just look at the touching you up there. But so if you're turning around, it's proper weird, and that's as high as it goes and as close as it goes.
Right. Okay.
So yeah. So
let's give it a go. But the bite is quite high.
Yeah.
It feels like a go-kart.
Exactly the point it comes on cam, yeah.
Yeah, it feels so much happier up there. Oh wow. The steering doesn't feel as pointy as it felt from the passenger seat.
No, well, again, it's I know it'll sound daft, but modern cars, the electric racks, it's the instant they mask because they don't have any feel. They just have hyper turning, like instant responses. With this, you have to get it till about, I reckon, about 2 o'clock before it truly wakes up.
You're right.
That's just the way cars were back then. So again, I'll go back to, because I've got a Clio 200 as well. That just rotates immediately. Whereas this needs to get past like 1, maybe 1:30 on the clock before it's proper wakes up. But the good thing about this is on a dry day in a dry road, you sort of use the back axle to turn it in as well. So you're clear, mate, if you want to get right over. So steady on the gas and then just feed it in. Same again here.
It feels weird.
Yeah, so I'll just remember on the exit of this corner there's ice. So I'll go down to second again now and give it a good fucking rev out, excuse my French. I mean,
the steering to me it feels weird.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to.
Really weird. I feel disconnected. But when you driven it, I felt like, you know, it had a proper turn in and everything.
Yeah.
But I just feel completely disconnected because I don't know how to drive it.
Well, I'll be honest, as we are right now, -2, on roads you don't know pheasant.
Oh.
Way! Nearly got 10 points there. Car coming. So on these tyres, on these roads, you're not going to get a lot of friction that's going to give you that feedback.
Wow.
So there's ice on the entrance to this one as well. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. But you got into fourth like I did. It's easily done because it's such a like stirring porridge. I can understand why a lot of people.
It's like a real.
Yeah, I understand why a lot of people when they drive my 200 as well, they prefer the 200 because the gearbox is proper modern and it's dead close. The driving position, because I've modified it, is so much better. See, again, you've gone into fourth. So
I'm focusing on blipping it.
yeah, so you can ram it straight to the left. Don't worry about it because you're not going to go into reverse because you need to lift the hatch to go into reverse. But yeah, a lot of people, the first time they drive the 200 and then they get in this, they'll go, oh, give me the 200 any day of the week. But then if you spent a week in this car, you get it, if that makes sense. Another pheasant.
Come on, go.
Hey! But
It feels like a toy.
yeah, it is a toy.
That steering is so weird.
Yeah, it's the angle as well.
Is this a normal clutch or is this some aftermarket?
No, it's
clutch?
standard clutch. It's amazing
Wow.
how heavy it is, and that's one of the detriments to this car. Is like the clutch is so heavy. The steering is very light, and the gearbox is quite light. So the control weights aren't really matched.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this car, it's a toy. It's basically a toy. I don't think I would want to drive it every day.
It's not so bad every day, but because this one's polybushed and got all the engine mounts done and stuff, it is very, very harsh. So
The thing about this car is, I think it's the steering. It's the way it feels on the road. When you get used to it, how it steers, it's actually brilliant to drive. I'm starting to feel it now.
but what you need is a lot more input than you think.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah. So you need
Yeah.
to turn the wheel a lot more than you think, but be quite fluid, syrupy with it,
Yeah,
if that
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
'Cause otherwise you can upset the rear, I guess.
Yeah. Because, to be honest, in the dry or complete traction is a very different experience. You can literally launch it into the corner, and you can go into the corner off the throttle, so that the rear you can turn it in rather, load it up, and then just take your foot off a little bit, and then the rear will swing round and actually tighten the line. But obviously, we're not going to mess about like that today.
Yeah, not in
But-
these weather conditions.
Yeah.
So, as I said before, this car feels like a go-kart. Honestly, it's loud, but I think suspension-wise, this car isn't feel upset by the roads, bumpy roads. It takes them really well. Sitting position, it's weird. But so far, I have no back pain yet, so it's not too bad actually. I feel very upright. The steering, it's really weird. Probably the weirdest thing in this car. The angle of the steering wheel, it's not something you experience in any other car, and that's a typical old Renault. Then the noise, I mean, this car has a Miltech non-resonator exhaust, so you're probably struggling to hear me properly. It's quite loud, especially when you're on it. The engine, I think it's just suitable to this car. It's not too fast, but it loves to rev, and when it does, it feels really like a fun. It doesn't feel weak at the top. It goes right up to the end of the rev range, which is brilliant. You see, this is it. You're doing 60 in this car, you feel like you're doing far more than 60, and that's the key. This is a perfect recipe for a fun car. It doesn't have to be mega fast. Like today, people are obsessed with power and speed, and I'm not against that, but it's not something which tickles me in the right spots. I think to me, what's most important is how the car behaves on the road, and you know how it feels. And I actually prefer to be able to feel like I'm pushing the car to its limit without breaking the speed limit. So I think it's a perfect recipe. You know, ignore that steering. I wouldn't think that this car is 17-year-old. Honestly, brilliant experience. I know why Craig loves this car so much. And it's so easy to actually rev much on the downshifts. I'm struggling to do it in new cars, but because this one is so responsive, it's so easy to blip it. Definitely a brilliant toy for a weekend, especially if it's in a condition like this one. Absolutely mint. I'm not going to be reviewing anything else about this car apart from the fact that it looks stunning for its age, and it feels stunning as well. Mega experience. Brilliant. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please remember to give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I see you shortly in the next video. Goodbye, do widzenia.